Hey folks, this is Dave Albert with a quick take. Hello friends. In this episode, I'm going to talk to you about Slack versus Trello. What? They're different tools. Yes, they are. They also should be used as different tools. All right, so what do I mean by that? In the past, I've talked about how process is hard. No, I take that back. Good process is hard. Changing process is easy. A process forming through habit is easy. Having it be right for you and your team, that's bloody hard. And we haven't found it yet. I'm very focused on trying to make that work. Not because I like overhead. It's actually the opposite of that. I hate overhead. I want the process to get the hell out of my way. Now, how do we do that? Not great. I do make sure that I'm constantly asking all of us, what can we do better? What can we stop doing? What can we do differently that may help? What are we doing that is absolutely wrong? What's causing problems? What's giving us stress? What's making it hard to focus on the work that we need to do? The Basecamp guys, DHH, David, Hannemeyer, Hoffman? Sorry, DHH. I can't remember your name because it's always DHH. And Jason Friedman. Good grief. I should probably do a 6-second amount of research before starting these quick takes. It would take less time than actually waffling during the actual episode. Yeah, David Hannemeyer Hansen. Sorry, DHH. So the book that they have now, which is, so they had Rework first. Well, actually, that wasn't first. All the books that they put out are very good. And I was, really excited with the latest one. I think it's Work Doesn't Have to Be Crazy. Actually, I'm going to pause this for 1 second. And we're back. Sorry about that. I promise to try to do better in the future. So, David Hannemeyer Hansen, DHH, and Jason Fried of Basecamp, formerly 37 Signals. Latest book, It Doesn't Have to Be Crazy at Work. This actually came at the perfect time for me because I was realizing that our process was out of whack. We use Trello for task management. Now, I've talked a little bit in the past about how we use Product Board for our road mapping. It's currently not perfect. It's us, not necessarily the tool, which is often the case. A tool will do what you do to it. Now, there's a lot of time where a tool won't do what you need it to, and that can cause issues. But this isn't about that. This is about how we basically half abandoned Trello with Slack. Slack is great for real-time communication. Now, is real-time communication always right? No, it is not. Sometimes it's necessary, but often what happens is people will get an idea and they don't want to lose the idea, and they want to make sure that the person that needs to know about it hears about it, and so they post it in Slack. We as a startup do have a sense of urgency, but that sense of urgency needs to be focused focused specifically on what's most important at the time, not what's at the top of somebody's mind. So if I have some idea and I'm like, oh, yes, we need to make sure that we take care of that, and I ping in a channel, in the design channel, hey, we need to make sure that we get X done. If there's not enough discipline within the team, and especially since I am one of the leaders of the company, that can make our designer think that he needs to focus on that now, even though the thing that he was already working on was blocking an iOS developer. And so that blocks a release, which then has a continuous knock-on effect. That should have been a Trello ticket, or actually it probably should have been a comment on product board or a Trello ticket. Now, how do we overcome that? I'm not sure. We're still working on it. One of the things is always, make sure that you represent the time frame that something matters, but also trying to use the right tool for the job and ensuring that your team are comfortable pushing back with what is the time frame if you didn't give it. Don't assume it's an immediate need. And in fact, I think that might be something we have to do within our team, is just say that unless stated otherwise, it's not urgent, as opposed to thinking everything is urgent all the time. So if you spend all day long switching between 30, 40 different tasks, even if they only take a couple of minutes each, you never get back to the thing that you were supposed to be doing because it was the most important thing we all agreed on. So the way we're trying to make sure that we work, Trello tasks have the majority of the discussion about the details of a project. Product board has comments about the higher level status of, did I say project? Project's not the right word. Task, feature set, deliverable, basically. Yeah, deliverable. So higher level comments about a deliverable should be in product board. The details, the nitty gritty, I need an API endpoint. I need this to have this property as opposed to that property. This element doesn't work. Let's refactor this bit. Those should all be in Trello. How do you think we should do this bit? That has to be a discussion, right? So either if video chat doesn't suit, then that should be probably a thread in Slack. It most likely should not be in a private message. That's one thing that we're not very good at either, is making sure that important information isn't exchanged within private messages or direct messages, because then it's lost. It's invisible to everyone else on the team. So if I and a developer discuss something in a private message, make decisions, and then don't document that and say the Trello ticket, then it's gone forever. If we have it in Slack, at least we can copy the link to that Slack discussion and paste that into the Trello ticket, or search through Slack for keywords that would indicate what that was. Now, that doesn't mean that we're always going to have it. It should probably be in Confluence somewhere where we store all of our documentation. But then again, how much documentation do we necessarily want? That's a whole nother episode. I don't know what to say about that one because we're not great with that either. But we have some very valuable information in there. But as with any wiki type system, without constant pruning, it turns into a messy garden. So I don't really have answers for you on Slack versus Trello other than how not to do it. If you start to have all of your discussions, not discussions necessarily, but basically if Slack becomes task management, things get lost because that's not what it's designed for. What you're doing is forcing the task management into the heads of everyone in your team. And that's a terrible place for it. People forget things. There's so much going on. It's not visible to anyone. If someone wants to go and find out the status of something, guess what they have to do? Ask on Slack. So what happens then? There's just a discussion about the status. And then there's I was going to ask you about this bit of it. Oh, right. So here's the decision on that. By the way, that reminded me, what about this? So then everybody gets distracted and lost, and they lose the ability to focus and deliver on what should be delivered on because everyone's decided that that's the most important thing to support the goals of the company or the product or both. So, yeah, I don't know. I hope that helped you. That's what's inside my head. And don't be like we have been. Be like we aspire to be. If you've got ideas or thoughts, please let me know. If you know the right way, show me the way. I will follow. But it's hard. So if you're having a hard time, don't feel alone. I've yet to find someone who loves their process, who does not have a product owner and a Scrum Master. And that's regardless of whether you're Scrum, Kanban, or Scrumban or whatever your process is, it doesn't matter. I don't know anyone who finds their full process perfect. So, yep. As always, you can email me at podcast@dave-albert.com or on Twitter @Dave_Albert. Bye. Until next time, remember, any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic.